so we've got it set up for 50-yard shots. So this is what I would do on a range, right? So I've got my 60-degree wedge here. I don't wear a glove for this portion of it just because I want as much maximum feel as I possibly can. Again, I got 5 minutes to warm up, 4 now, so I gotta get moving. So basically I'm just gonna hit this, try and make some contact.
So you're not focused on where it's going.
Not worried
You're
about
just trying to slowly move and get the center of the club face. Make sure your body's moving.
That's exactly it. And you'll notice like there wasn't a lot of speed in that. It was very, very smooth.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to swing as far back as I can, as smooth as I can through. And just again, like Matt said, I'm just trying to hit the ball solid. I'm just trying to get my sequencing, my timing down. Again, there's a good shot. I'm not worried about it, right?
But we're not really aiming at a target here. Remember, you're on a range. You don't have a track, man. We're not looking at numbers, launch angles, none of that. All you're doing is getting your body moving.
Exactly.
4 or 5 wedges, just to nowhere, just to make a little divot, get the ball up in the air.
I'm not hitting a driver, and I would say, like, I'll be honest, I'm probably one of the few, I would not hit a driver if I had 5 minutes to warm up. I don't see the point of it. I mean, because what it's gonna do is I'm gonna hit a bad one because my back's gonna be stiff, and then I'm gonna be thinking about it on the first tee, going, don't snap hook it.
Okay,
right?
now, so most players are going to use a driver because most tee shots starting the day involve a driver.
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
Most of us don't hit it as far as you, so you gotta cater to the people that, like, I can't carry my 3-wood 275 yards.
Well,
so,
yeah.
so, and I hear you, driver, you want to get your body moving and find your low point and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But after you've hit your 5 wedges, you're going to build to it.
Yeah.
Let's try and fit a driver in there.
And I'll show you what I would do. So I've hit like 4 or 5 little like 50-yarders. Now I'm going to try and hit this a little bit further.
Okay.
Just try and take it back a little bit. Okay, so that's like 75% for me on that wedge.
Okay.
And that's probably close to 85 or so. Yeah, so 80 carry, I'll take that. So then if you want to just move me to like a little bit of a further target, this is when, before I hit a full lob wedge here, I'm just going to move to gap wedge. Again, 100 yards is perfect.
But it doesn't matter. We're not aiming at a target. We're just hitting it. So.
Perfect. So now I've got my gap wedge. This is a club I use a lot. So I use this from 100 to 125 yards. So
now you might want to pick a target. Like when you're hitting those warm-up wedges, you're hitting it at nothing. You're just moving. Yeah. Now you're aiming at something.
Now I'm trying to see where it's curving. If I'm trying to hit I'm trying to just hit a normal one here, about 100 yards. And for me, that's from the back of my stance, a little bit open, nice and smooth. And okay, that felt pretty good. I feel comfortable. It felt like, I think part of it too is like, what I would say for people too, don't try and get too many feels associated with this little warm up. If you're working on a practice regimen, sure, but if you're just warming up and trying to hit shots, don't think about too many little things, right?
Yeah, so this is a warm up, this is not practice. They're different things. Okay, so we've hit,
probably hit 8
how many gap wedges? 4? 3? 4? Okay. So we've gone five lob wedges.
Yeah.
Or your most lofted wedge.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 56, maybe it's 60.
Yeah.
If it's 64, you're probably stupid. There's like 3
gap
people
wedges
in the world that can efficiently use a 64-degree wedge. Okay, so now what club do you have in your hand?
So I got an 8-iron now.
Okay, so we've gone 60, 52.
Yeah, 8-iron.
And now we're hitting ocho.
Yeah. So
now we're hitting 8-iron, and again, now we're aiming at a target.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me give you a target here. Just normally you're going to have targets on the range, but
this is when I'd probably put a glove on as well.
Yeah, 170 is probably your number.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's good.
Far.
Again, so right now I'm probably not going to hit it that distance, but that is what I hit my 8-iron generally.
So and again, when you're doing this warm up, you're not concerned with how far you're hitting it. You know your numbers. You're concerned with, is it coming off at your target, left or right?
Yeah.
What way is it curving? And that's the way you're going to play golf that day.
Oh, absolutely. Exactly. So let's try and hit one here. So I'm just trying to make solid contact, I would argue, is like one of my things as well. So for me, that was hit okay. I just didn't swing that hard, but it's a good result. Yeah. Right? So it did what I wanted. Yeah, did what I wanted to do.
Ball kind of came out on line, turned over a little.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'll take that all day long. The same thing here. So I had a little bit more into that.
Little pushy draw.
Yeah, it should come back.
There it goes.
Good.
That might go in the hole, so that's
got to go a little bit. But again, direction, my feels are good. I mean, it feels like I'm slowly warming things up, picking up club head speed as I do this.
Okay.
I'm not swinging 8-iron as hard as I possibly can, right? I mean, you could do that, but you're just going to throw off your sequencing and throw everything off. So
yeah, everything here is about getting your body moving and finding tempo, right?
Exactly. So probably hit one more of these guys, maybe a little harder.
Okay.
So that's about as hard as I would swing with that club. So I hit that pretty well as well.
Solid.
And this is where a lot of the shots I do hit, I mean, arguably, I do hit mostly mid to shorter irons into greens on a golf course. But there are quite a few par threes that I play at my tees that are 215, 220. So generally I hit either a 4-iron or 3-iron. Right now I've got 4-iron. Again, that's perfect. So probably 210 I would aim at a target. I'm just trying to feel the difference between kind of a short mid-iron and something a little bit longer where my stance is a little wider.
So you've gone 5 lob wedges, 3 gap wedges,
3 8-irons.
3 8-irons, now we're into 4-iron.
Yeah, exactly. So hit that pretty well. Should turn into my target, yeah.
That's a good shot.
I will take that for sure. So that's where generally I do hit this a little further than that, so I'm okay with that. I didn't think that I was going to hit it that solid, to be honest. So, but again, outside, I'm not worried about it. It's a little further than my target. Great, that's fine.
Yeah, right now we're just aiming at something, seeing which way it curves, right?
Exactly.
So what we've seen is everything is a baby push draw, which is kind of what you've been trying to do lately.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a little bit out of the toe.
Okay.
It's going to turn over more.
Still did the same thing, which is nice. And when you miss it, it does the same thing.
Exactly.
Cool.
So again, if I hit a couple of those, I probably would have maybe hit 1 or 2 more, but
Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
So
I'm
2
not,
4-irons. So this is like the whole, running through the gamut here.
Exactly. And then realistically, I probably only have a couple minutes left before my tee time. So
the guys are waiting on the tee going, Mark, let's go.
So like I said, I wouldn't hit driver. I might grab driver and swing it. I might feel it and just kind of because obviously for me too, it's a longer swing. So there's going to be some different muscles that kind of contract. Okay. I might take a few practice swings.
And as well, this is assuming that you always want to hit the last club you want to hit on the range is the first club you want to hit on the tee.
Generally, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think for me, a lot of times I do hit an iron off the tee on the first hole. Mm-hmm. Especially
most of us are not long enough to be able to do that.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So you give me 1 or 2 drivers, I assume, and then you're
at most.
You go ahead and shoot 88.
Yeah, exactly. I might hit 1. So again, I'm not thinking about too much. Just same setup as I normally am with driver. And I'll take that.
So what's nice is your driver's coming out the same shape as your irons.
Same
some
window.
people do that, some don't.
Exactly.
This is what you want to pay attention to. We're not concerned with distance numbers, any of that stuff. All you're doing is moving and you're finding out where's the ball coming out, where's it curving.
So you can see I came in cold, right? I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I warmed up. That was my warm up, right? So I haven't done any other stretching. I feel okay. Do I feel perfect? No, I'd rather have a little bit more time. But if that's all you have, you still have a chance at giving yourself a pretty decent chance at playing really well. So,
and I think we did that in under 5 minutes, so that's a victory.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, when you're not talking about what you're doing, you can probably get a little bit more done. But slow it down. Don't do anything really fast. Don't rush your practice shots. If you don't have time to hit 30 balls, you're not going to hit 30 balls. So don't try and fit it in there. In that,
yeah, you're better off hitting 6 balls.
Yeah.
And take your time in between shots and just find your tempo.
Exactly.
I'm guilty of that. So again, to recap, so it was 5 lob wedges, 3 gap wedges,
3 8-irons,
3 8-irons, 2 4-irons, and a driver.
Yeah, a couple of practice swings and a driver, right? So again, I mean, arguably okay, I hit all those fairly well. I would be pretty comfortable with that warm-up session, but I made sure that was going to happen by starting that with, okay, good contact on a 30-yard wedge, right?
Find some tempo.
Yeah, and go up the ladder. Exactly. So anyways, next time you're at the range.
That's how to warm up. Exactly. Next, we're going to show how to practice. So they're 2 very different things, but
don't get it twisted.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
All right.